3 all the way.
All the way, so I won't ask you that again. That's locked in.
Lock it in.
Top to bottom. Human body for 3. Good luck. Here we go. What is the fleshy protuberance that dangles from the middle of the soft palate at the back of the mouth? Is it the uvula, tonsil, or adenoid?
Not 100% sure. I've had tonsillitis a few times as a kid, so I know they're back there somewhere. I'm going to lock in tonsil.
Okay. The fleshy protuberance that dangles from the middle of the soft palate. Is that a tonsil?
Uvula.
Yeah. Bad luck. Okay, not the start that we were after. So, we're going to head on back down the board. Music's next. We're playing for 3. We need to get a start here. Come on, Simon. A 90s hit for which band contains the lyric, I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? Is it Blink 182, 4 Non-Blondes, or the B-52s?
I know this song. I'm not going to sing it on national TV. I'm a big Blink 182 fan. I know it's not them. B-52s, I think, are pre-90, so let's go 4 Non-Blondes.
Okay, light up 4 Non-Blondes. I think you worked through that quite well by the sound of it, but is it correct? Yes. Come on. Right. Here we go. We're in the gates. We're ready to make our way down the mountain, so light up at drop zone 1. Sticks its landing, doesn't move at all. So come on, give us a bit of cash early here. Just clean out the rest that's there. That was 2. Almost to $3,000, $2,900. And we'll put in our second counter. Light it up again. Oh, same spot. Identical drop.
That's where I wanted the jackpot counter.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, this is going to shuffle that double forward. 2 more. That'll give you $3,100. Let's see whether we can get a little bit more luck and get it over that centre right. 3rd time lucky, hopefully. Light it up. That's the one. Here we go.
Come on. Don't tuck in.
No, it'll go.
Yeah.
It's all right. Nice work. Nice work.
Take it.
A wave of counters crashing over the drop zone 1. 6 in total. That'll give you $3,700. And so, pretty good with those 3. Another 3, and hopefully we can get it down on the bottom shelf. Let's go back to our categories. Sport is next, so we know we've locked in 3 all the way. Here's the question. What is the name of a dressage movement in equestrian riding? Is it surface stride, table trot, or canter?
Oh, man. Outside of watching equestrian for 2 minutes at the Olympics every 4 years when there's nothing else on.
Way to offend all those equestrian people.
Sorry. I'm going to have a punt at table trot.
Light up table trot. The name of a dressage movement in equestrian riding. Is it table trot? It's a canter. And it's what it is. So, not ideal. We have to go back to our categories. 2 to go. We're going to need all 6 of these counters. So, food and drink. Let's hone in on this one. A speciality from Brittany in France, Quin Amon is often dubbed the fattiest what in all of Europe? Cheese, pastry, or casserole?
It could be any of them, to be honest. Obviously, cheese and pastry, both quite French. Pastry is maybe a little bit broad. I'll light up cheese.
I'm going to light up cheese, and we'll find out what is the fattiest in all of Europe right after the break.
Updating NBN News 2 years on from the Westfield Bondi Junction stabbing, heroes honoured in a special ceremony. The US Navy to blockade the Strait of Hormuz after talks with Iran collapse, what the move means for fuel supplies. Meantime, our PM is about to head off on a mission to Singapore to shore up our stocks. Also tonight, Prince Harry and wife Meghan bound for Australia. And big signing news for the Knights, luring a Warriors forward to join next season. That's tonight.
Some of our most popular beaches where a fight is brewing over parking.
Stop the meters. No more meters. People don't want them.
Join me.
Hungry Jack's snack wraps. Crispy, juicy, 100% Aussie chicken. Wrapped up for only $3.95. With 3 delicious sauces. It's tender snack wrap time at Hungry Jack's.
Need a moment to unwind? Let Botanica's nature-inspired fragrances set the mood, infused with exotic magnolias from the rolling hills of the Himalayas. Botanica, inspired by nature.
Is it happening? Is it happening?
Masterpiece.
Oh.
You're important at work, but at home, you're irreplaceable. Stay safe from harm and harassment. Safe at work, there for them.
For over 100 years, Somerville Laundry Lomax has been providing legal support to individuals, families and businesses. When you need someone who'll stand beside you, turn to the team trusted by generations. Somerville Laundry Lomax, for all matters when it matters most.
Lazy Boy, world famous comfort. The biggest sale of the season is here. With 30% off all Lazy Boy furniture. Save big on all recliners, sofas and modulars and lift chairs. Lazy Boy, long live the lazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles!
Don't miss Beatlemania on tour, the world's best magical mystery live show touring Australia.
Hey Jude. Darkcourt 23rd, Dark Casino 24th April.
Kingscliff Nursery. Over 5 acres of trees, native shrubs and exotic plants. Huge range of fruit trees, indoor and outdoor plants, pots, planters and much more. Buy direct, save heaps. Remember to say hi to Sally at Kingscliff Nursery, Coogin Road, Coogin.
Just you wait.
This is unacceptable. Stop speaking over her.
The journey to love reaches its stunning climax.
When you look at Philip, what is he?
Home. And the video twist.
I will admit, there's women queuing up for me.
That can't be unseen.
What we're hearing is kind of taking our breath away.
The finale of the year tonight.
Welcome back, everyone, to Tipping Point. Simon, 3,700 in your bank. We need counters. Before the break, I asked you, a speciality from Brittany in France, Quignemont, is often dubbed the fattiest what in all of Europe. We know cheese is fatty, right? He said, light that up. Fingers crossed. It's pastry. Pastry. It's kind of like croissant-y looking with all cream and stuff in the middle, and it's pretty good.
It sounds good, but I'm never eating it.
No.
No.
Okay. If we can get this last question correct and get 3, you can still be in a position to be able to get this 20,000. If not with those 3, but definitely with temptation. So, pop culture. This is the one we need. Right, Simon. Based on a character from Spider-Man comics, what is the name of a 2024 film starring Dakota Johnson? Black Widow, Spider-Girl, or Madam Web?
Madam Web, I feel like I saw movie trailers for it in the last year or so, so let's light up Madam Web.
Okay, light up Madam Web. We need this. Is it Madam Web? Yes! All right. Needed that. So, what we need is that centre right hit to get it down onto the bottom shelf.
Yep.
Let's try to do that with the first one. Let's light her up. Drop zone 1. Here we go. Come on, everyone. Yeah, not that way. Not that way, Simon. Yeah, well, give us some money at least. Give me some money. Tease us all the way. All right, light it up again. Come on, we're going to get down.
Come on.
It's going to go into the next row. Oh, it's going to make it interesting. That's going to get you money. Go on, sit backwards and give us some more, perhaps. Here we go. Come on. No. 2 more. $3,900. Right, let's get it down here so that we can go into temptation, feeling a little better about ourselves. This one here. That's the one. Hopefully that gets it down. Come on, all the way down. All the way down. Flip over. Yep. There we go.
Oh, now I'm going to be tempted.
One more, which gives you, at the end of your jackpot round, $4,000. Well played. And the machine teased us all the way to that final drop to get that jackpot onto the bottom shelf, which has given us a very good opportunity to go into jackpot temptation. Now you're on the bottom shelf. Now you've got to contemplate whether you would give up that $4,000 for the opportunity to get the jackpot counter over. That double's still hanging on, and you never know. 2 in the right place just might take it with it, and it could be 40. How about this? I'm going to offer you 4 counters. I'm going to keep the value at $20,000 though. But could you use this? Would a new car come in handy? Redefining elegance and sportiness, this Kia K4 is an award-winning small sedan valued at $32,990 and could be yours thanks to Kia. What do you think? Have a look at that. Emily, could you see yourself driving one of those?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice.
While you two contemplate a new car, $20,000, we're headed to the newsroom.
Coming up in NBN News tonight, the US Navy hours away from a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Details on what it means for our fuel supply. A historic day for our country, Australia's first female Chief of Army appointed. Why a Newcastle judge dropped charges for several rising tide activists. The new Qantas plane's able to take passengers almost anywhere in the world non-stop. And a warrior becomes a knight. Details of the latest signing. That's in the news coming up next.
Okay, before we went to the newsroom, Simon, you weren't expecting this offer. 4 counters for $20,000 and a Kia K4 valued at $32,990.
Is it final offer?
Simon, I put a car on your podium.
I'm just worried there's not a lot on the top row for me to sort of push over. That's my concern.
What if I said, as much as I know you like the car, I took it back, but I gave you 1 more counter for $20,000.
I think.
You reckon you want to do it?
I think now we might be talking. Play?
Why?
All right, I'm going to play.
Oh! I'm going to put the key back in my pocket. I'll save that for another day. So $4,000 is gone. Take it away.
Here once.
And we've got 5 chances to see if we can get this jackpot counter over the tipping point. Are you ready, everyone? Wish you the best of luck. Here we go. Light it up. Drop zone 1. Come on, Simon. Coming down the slope. What's it going to do? Might just push over. Lines. You're kind of close to gap. Yeah. Now, anything in the right spot is going to come home for you. So we've got 4 more chances. Let's put the second counter in. Spun past where we needed it to. Missed its gate, didn't it?
Yeah.
Come on, it's a bit of a lateral. Push. Not quite enough. Right, we've got 3 more. Let's get the next one in. Light it up. Come on, we've got to get this one all the way into the front. Oh, they're all around it. They're right of it, they're left of it. Come on, get over. 2 more to go.
Gonna need a miracle from here.
Light it up. 4th one.
Get over.
I'm out. Come on, do the right thing.
Come on. Push it.
One thing you did well was negotiate from 4 to 5. Well played by you. This is the last chance. It has to hit the same spot. If it does, it looks like 20,000 could be yours, Simon. Light her up.
Come on.
Oh, hi, man. It's close. Close. Come on, get over. Yes. No. Sit backwards. No. Oh, no. It crashed before the finish line.
Oh, man.
I
thought I had it for a second.
I thought you had it too. Unfortunately, I hate saying this, you're going home empty-handed. You took the gamble, you played it beautifully, and luck was not on your side. Thanks for being with us today. Thanks. Points.
Tonight, sealed shut, Donald Trump moves to blockade the Strait of Hormuz after failed peace talks with Iran. Australia gets a new defence chief who insists our Navy could help in the Middle East. New details on how a convicted rapist allegedly escaped immigration custody. Heroes of the Westfield Bondi Junction rampage honoured 2 years on. And back-to-back, Rory McIlroy joins an elite club at the Masters.
This is NBN News with Natasha Beyersdorf.
Good evening. There's been another major development in the Iran war, with the US Navy set to blockade the Strait of Hormuz in a matter of hours. Donald Trump making the declaration after peace talks with Iran failed, leaving the already fragile ceasefire in serious doubt.
After weeks of demanding it open, Donald Trump declaring he's shutting down the Strait of Hormuz.
But we're putting on a complete blockade. We're not going to let Iran make money on selling oil to people that they like and not people that they don't like or whatever it is. It's going to be all or none, and that's the way it is.
The commander-in-chief accusing Iran of extortion before ordering a naval blockade of the waterway through which 20% of the world's oil normally flows. From 10 a.m. Eastern Time, US Central Command says the shipping strait will be sealed. No vessel to enter or leave Iranian ports or Iranian coastal areas.
Iran will not be able to sell oil, and that will be very effective.
But I don't understand how blockading the strait is going to somehow push the Iranians into opening it.
With peace talks collapsing in Pakistan, Washington and Tehran are ramping up threats. Any Iranian who fires at us or at peaceful vessels will be blown to hell, wrote the US president. The Speaker of Iran's parliament firing back with an image of petrol prices near the White House. Enjoy the current pump figures with the so-called blockade. Soon you'll be nostalgic for $4 to $5 gas. From its National Security Commission, it is natural for a defeated president to speak this way. Tonight, Donald Trump is stepping up both pressure and rhetoric, but the US president is also still searching for a deal, declaring America has the upper hand and that Tehran isn't ready to walk away.
They haven't left the bargaining table. I predict they come back and they give us everything we want. And I told my people, I want everything. I don't want 90%. I don't want 95%. I told them I want everything.
But everything is unlikely.
We want to see an end to this conflict. We want to see the Strait of Hormuz opened for all. We want to see freedom of navigation as required by international law.
And with peace plunged further into question, mediator Pakistan knows it's a fragile path.
It is imperative that the parties continue to uphold their commitment to ceasefire.
In the United States, Lauren Tomazi, NBN News.
So how will the naval blockade work, and will the United States use force? Brett McLeod reports.
Why close a waterway that's already largely closed? The Strait of Hormuz is the choke point that has a grip on the world's economy. Prior to the war, 138 ships passed through the strait every day on average. Even with the ceasefire, that number is still down to single digits, as Iran acts as gatekeeper, charging ships to sail close to its coast to avoid its mines. Well, Donald Trump now says the US Navy will shut the gate to vessels heading to or from Iranian ports. That leaves the question of how much force the US would use against civilian vessels, many of which aren't Iranian flagged. A blockade would rob Tehran of oil revenue and disrupt supplies to Iran after reports China is preparing to send air defence weapons. But given how few ships are going through the strait right now, the immediate impact might be limited. It would give the US the chance to use underwater drones to probe the strait for Iranian mines. Maybe it's all a bluff by Donald Trump. We'll know in a few hours.
Australia's incoming Defence Chief insists our military is ready and able to help secure critical oil routes in the Middle East. The declaration comes as the Prime Minister heads overseas again to shore up our fuel supplies.
A deck scrubber, then a submarine commander. The Chief of Navy, Mark Hammond, is now in charge of the whole show.
This is probably the most humbling moment in my career.
The Vice Admiral's Navy job to be taken by Rear Admiral Matthew Buckley, another submariner currently overseeing the switch to nuclear-powered boats. Lieutenant General Susan Coyle to become the first woman to command the Army.
As Susan said to me, you cannot be what you cannot see.
She not only makes history, but continues her ambition to broaden recruitment in defence.
Anybody is suitable to come and join our teams.
Mark Hammond's appointment at a time when the whole world's focused on a narrow waterway critical to trade, amid expectations that Australia and other nations will have to play a role in securing the Strait of Hormuz.
Isn't the fact that our ships wouldn't be able to defend themselves but for multi-million-dollar missiles against really cheap drones?
The Navy is as ready as it ever has been. Are they capable of performing the mission, as Admiral Johnson said last week? Absolutely.
The more pressing issue is to firm up supply from outside the Middle East. The Prime Minister's fuel diplomacy taking him to Brunei tomorrow, Malaysia later in the week.
We will negotiate with them in good faith.
We want to see more than just photo ops. We want to understand exactly how much fuel is coming to our shores.
Yeah. Australia's trump card, its gas exports, which our neighbours need as much as we need their diesel and petrol. Andrew Probyn, NBN News.
The Iran conflict has been a major wake-up call for our Defence Force. National Affairs Editor Andrew Probyn explains.
As it stands, the Australian Defence Force is ill-equipped to fight the sort of war we've seen in Iran. There's no point having the best missiles if they can be overwhelmed by swarms of drones designed to exhaust high-tech defences. The economics of warfare has massively changed in just a couple of years, and the Defence Force knows it has to catch up quickly. To that end, 9 News understands billions more will be spent on drones and autonomous vessels in next month's federal budget. Having cheap drones by the thousands is now as important as a handful of nuclear-powered submarines.
A wild foot chase has spilled into southern Gold Coast traffic and backyards. Police, Polair and the dog squad in hot pursuit of a man wanted on a string of property offences. Sprinting recklessly into the path of oncoming traffic, a wanted man trying his luck at outpacing police. But with boots on the ground and eyes in the sky, his luck is running dry.
Police have noticed a male person who they observed and recognised as being someone who's wanted on outstanding arrest warrants. That person has fled from the police.
This 30-year-old man wanted for property offences, leading police on a cat and mouse chase through multiple Coolangatta backyards just after 4 p.m. yesterday.
Police have cordoned off the area. As we do, we have a number of strategies when we are trying to locate people that are wanted.
Jumping the fence of one home on Bolton Street, he ducked behind a car, allegedly telling residents they're trying to kill me, while claiming all he did was steal some bikes.
If you do see anyone on the property, they shouldn't be a just chill out to us.
Neighbours calling 000. Canines were called in too, partnering up and scaling fences to hunt down their suspect.
Unfortunately, though, one of our male officers was injured during that incident. He does have a minor injury to his hand.
The whir of the chopper echoing down the street. Then came the crescendo, officers closing in with an audience watching on.
And then he's jumped over someone's fence and the police have just came around the corner.
Paramedics treating him before he was marched to the back of the police car.
Did he say anything to you? Nah, he just ran past. He was like, I surrender when he got to the fence.
Now with a longer list of charges, including trespassing and willful damage.
Certainly, the work that they did was tremendous in terms of bringing this person into custody and hopefully preventing future offences.
Giselle Manning, NBN News. Some good news for Byron Shire motorists tonight, with upgrades to Mullumbimby Road almost complete. While construction along the Shire's second busiest road has caused major traffic disruptions, Byron Council says it'll be worthwhile with the road now flood resilient. The work compound and altered speed zones have now been lifted, with the final seal to be applied later this month. The Sydney to Grafton XPT service will return to the tracks at the end of the month. Coaches have replaced trains over the past 12 months, while essential fleet upgrades were undertaken. The spruced-up carriages now feature a colourful retro design, honouring the XPT's introduction in the 1980s.
$40.3 million invested in this refurbishment to ensure better reliability, better comfort and amenity for passengers.
The Sydney to Grafton train service will resume from April 28. Following intense community debate, the Ballina Croquet Club has officially vacated the Cherry Street Sports Club. It's understood while the two clubs previously shared the one field and facilities, Cherry Street's management has now decided to limit the site's use to its own members. While Ballina croquet players were offered to join Cherry Street, they refused, citing a desire to honour their own club's rich history. Having officially moved out on Friday, Ballina is yet to confirm the location of its future home. Southern Cross University is today celebrating 20 years of its Preparing for Success program. Designed as an alternative pathway to university, the free 12-week program teaches students tertiary academic skills and provides entry to a degree. A number of former students attended the event to share their stories.
I did the DSP in 2016, and then I went on to do my Bachelor of Sports and Exercise Science and then into my Masters of Exercise Physiology.
Those interested in applying can visit Southern Cross University's website. At a time when even basic essentials come at a huge cost, support organisations like Liberation Larder are needed more than ever. Feeding hundreds of people each week, the Byron Bay charity is struggling, and tonight volunteers are asking for help.
It was business as usual at the Byron Bay Community Centre kitchen this morning. Liberation Larder volunteers hard at work. The organisation pumps out more than 600 meals for vulnerable community members each week, and President John Morgan says they've seen a noticeable increase in people using the service.
Yeah, it is tough, and now it's going to probably get tougher with our fuel crisis.
The non-for-profit runs entirely off the work of volunteers and donations, doors even opening to those needing a meal on Easter Monday. In partnership with Woolworths, Aldi and local businesses, Liberation Larder also aims to reduce food waste.
In 1 year, we rescue about 60,000 kilos of food.
Volunteers collecting fresh, unused food 7 days a week and cooking up meals for those who need it most on Mondays and Thursdays.
And we hand them out, 2, 3, 4 meals depending on their needs.
Locals like Alex McCauley donating their time to the operation.
When you see the people who are coming in, I realise how precarious the balance is, and it could be just one small thing that pulls the rug out from under anybody.
But despite the necessity of the service, there are challenges. With current fuel shortages proving an obstacle in sourcing food, staff say donations are needed now more than ever.
And that's one of the big things we really, really need is to people to donate, whether it's $1 or $1,000, and you will get all that in between, just to help us keep going so we can keep doing our work.
Isabel Gallagher, NBN News.
A baby humpback whale has been spotted off the coast of Foster Tungurry, frolicking with a pod of dolphins on Wallace Lake. The sighting marks the start of the migration season, with an estimated 40,000 humpbacks set to pass the mid-north coast between May and November. It's a good sign. Also a sign that our weather is cooling down. We have had some chilly nights. Last night, no exception, down to 6 degrees at Grafton. But very warm days. We got into the mid to high 20s. Still ahead in NBN News, a handful of activists learned their fate following last year's port blockade in Newcastle. And concerns Harry and Meghan's security has been compromised as they prepare to arrive in Australia.
It pays to be prepared. With HCF Income Protect Insurance, you can receive up to $10,000 a month if you're unable to work due to accident or illness. So you know your loved ones will continue to be looked after. Nice.
Have you tried Australia's #1 facial moisturiser? Olay Super Collagen Peptides. With 25 times more collagen peptides, it visibly lifts sagging skin and reduces deep wrinkles in just 28 days. Olay Super Collagen for lifted skin.
Discover the award-winning Emerald Cruises luxury yacht experience and explore the cultures of the Mediterranean from just $9,495 per person. Contact your travel advisor or visit emeraldcruises.com.au.
You don't have to do that here. They're Aldi prices. You don't have to check them. No need to check twice. You get quality for less. That's Aldi prices. Aldi. Good different. Even the dogs know. Don't send a ute to do a Hilux still. Toyota.
Super with impact.
At Tankwell, we keep it Australian. We're proudly Australian owned, and now you can save $500 on our 23,650-litre tank from only $27.85. Keep it Australian. Sale ends today. Tankwell, owned by Australians, made for Australians. 1-800-68-69-70.
Kingscliff Nursery. Over 5 acres of trees, native shrubs and exotic plants. Huge range of fruit trees, indoor and outdoor plants, pots, planters and much more. Buy direct, save heaps. Remember to say hi to Sally at Kingscliff Nursery, Cudgeon Road, Cudgeon.
An important question for all men and women over 40 years of age. Are you ready to take control of your heart and overall health? One answer is trying Bergamet Advanced today. Bergamet Advanced, with the patented extract BJE100, exclusive to Nat Health Solutions, supports heart and liver health as well as blood circulation and relieves inflammation. Order Bergamet Advanced at bergamet.com.au or call 1300 977 889.
Paris Scarf mid-season sale is on now. Save 50% off full-price cookware by Scanpan, 40% off full-price vacuums by Russell Hobbs, plus 40% off full-price air fryers by Healthy Choice. Exclusions apply. Paris Scarf, great brands, great prices.
A major police operation is underway in the Hunter, with tactical police swarming the main street of Cessnock. Reporter Lauren Kemp joins us live. Lauren, what more do we know?
Tash, details are still filtering in, but we do know witnesses first spotted multiple police Bearcat vehicles near an apartment complex near Cooper Street and North Avenue around 1 p.m. Streets were shut off as a perimeter was set up. Heavily armed officers were seen pointing their firearms towards the building before several entered and headed up to the top floor. NBN News understands police were executing a search warrant, but at this stage it's unconfirmed who they were looking for. And Tash, tonight authorities are urging people to stay away from Cessnock CBD, and they have confirmed there's no ongoing threat to the public.
Okay, Lauren, thank you. New details have emerged on how a convicted child rapist allegedly escaped from custody, sparking a 5-day manhunt across Sydney's west. The 30-year-old faced court today after being arrested at Seven Hills, an innocent local caught in the middle of a dramatic takedown.
2 years in jail and 9 years in immigration detention, and tonight Michael Angok is back behind bars. The full circle for the convicted gang rapist arrested and charged at Seven Hills train station over a daring alleged attempt to escape custody.
Thank God they actually found the fella, because there's lots of kids in the street that play.
After almost 5 days on the run, the breakthrough came yesterday afternoon. Police had been monitoring friends and family known to him when they found his shoes in a granny flat on June Street. His family friend, who lives in the same property, said she had no idea he was there.
They asked me about Michael. I said I didn't see it.
Police hunting from house to house. An innocent man even caught in the middle of it, bitten by a police dog during the search and taken to hospital.
They did call an ambulance for him. I don't think he was seriously hurt.
Angok's scent traced all the way to the station where he was stopped in his tracks. The 30-year-old convicted criminal was set to be sent back to Sudan. On Wednesday morning, he was transported from Villewood Detention Centre to Bankstown Hospital for treatment. Once he was discharged, he asked to use the bathroom. That's when it's alleged he made a run for it on foot while handcuffed.
The guy jumped over a few fences, got to the fence between me and the neighbour. There was a kerfuffle there.
If found guilty, Michael Angok may again have to serve prison time before potentially returning back to immigration detention, where he has been since his release from jail in 2017. He'll then have to be assessed again for potential deportation back to Sudan. Questions tonight about why he was kept in detention for so long.
The reason why they would spend so long in detention is really a result of the lengthy process of seeking review of a decision of a cancellation.
For now, he remains in custody until he fronts court again in June. Basilia Eiley, NBN News.
It saw more than 100 people arrested, and today a small cohort of protesters from last year's Port of Newcastle blockade pleaded guilty. The judge deciding their fate, but also saying that history may judge them differently.
Protesters stopped the movement of coal ships during the 2025 People's Blockade in Newcastle, some of them venturing into an exclusion zone. And today, 5 kayakers face the consequences in Newcastle local court.
I'm here to make a stand, I guess, to highlight the continued expansion of coal.
All 5 pleaded guilty to contravening a notice regulating the use of vessels, but in deciding their fate, the judge told the court he recognises the importance of civil disobedience, listing past causes which resulted in major change and how the passage of time can change public perception, and saying that action like the People's Blockade may well be looked back on in the future with some sort of different perspective, where people would focus on how those people were standing up for what was good and what was right.
And he was alluding to the fact that rising tides protests are going to be looked upon by future generations as something that was necessary and something that was really positive for Australian society.
3 of the defendants today had their charges dismissed in court. The other 2 had prior matters before courts. They were handed conditional release orders.
The longest of those, 9 months, while Victorian resident Freya Cloughgood was handed a 3-month order.
I pled guilty because I want to be accountable for what we did, for the disruption that we caused, even though what we're doing is like some of the most important stuff that you can do.
Dozens of blockade protesters remain before the courts. Jessica Warboys, NBN News.
Prince Harry and his wife Meghan are due to touch down in Melbourne in the next hour, the couple's second trip down under. But there are concerns their security has been compromised, and backlash is growing over how much the trip could cost taxpayers.
In 2018, these then working royals were heartily embraced, crowds swamping newly married Prince Harry and Meghan in Melbourne and delighting them on the sand in Sydney. But 7.5 years later, with an exit from the royal family...
Would you go and try and see them anywhere?
No, only to boo.
I wouldn't go and see them, no. I think they've let William down.
What isn't down is the price of tickets to see the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Later this week, Harry will speak at a mental health event in Melbourne and Meghan will headline a women's retreat in Sydney.
I think the royal brand's a bit overrated.
It's $1,000 to go and see Harry speak. What do you think of that?
I think it's outrageous.
The couple are expected to make charity visits too, but there are concerns security has been compromised after some media outlets published details of their plans.
And this is where the security services are in a very difficult position. Nobody wants anything bad to happen to Harry and Meghan on Australian soil. That would be catastrophic.
While the couple's team have maintained this trip is being privately funded, taxpayers will foot some of the bill. In Sydney, police will be running an operation to ensure public safety, while here in Melbourne, officers will be deployed if needed.
There are situations where organisations can pay for additional security. There is no such agreement in place with Harry and Meghan.
An online petition demanding no public resources go to the visit has already attracted more than 45,000 signatures.
This trip is going to be very tightly controlled and very tightly managed. Harry and Meghan need this to be positive.
Penelope Leash, NBN News.
Coming up next, a boy's beautiful message 2 years on from the Bondi Westfield rampage. Check-out time arrives for a 23-storey waterfront hotel and the last hurrah for this year's Royal Easter Show.
When things get real, I want to speak to a real person real quick.
Things are real.
Okay, and the tow truck is on its way.
That's why Yui is CanStar's most awarded comprehensive car and home insurer. Yui, you insured.
Apparently down the road's off for 1.5.
I wonder what we get.
It's cuddled the ball.
Know the value of your home with a real estimate.
The Specsavers Big Name Designer Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on any one pair of big name designer glasses with single vision lenses for the tiny price of $149. Hurry, ends 25th of April, only at Specsavers.
Right now at IGA, spend $20, enter online, and you could win from $50 to $10,000 to spend in store. With a winner every 10 minutes, there'll be celebrations all across Australia. And to receive a bonus entry, just buy participating products like V Energy Drink varieties, $8.50 each, and Rexona Advanced Protection Antiperspirant Spray selected varieties, $4.50 each. IGA, you can't beat local.
The majestic four-wheel drive, shackled to a life in the suburbs. But now there's an insurance policy that frees the four-wheel drive with cover anywhere you can legally go in Australia. Club 4x4 Insurance. Free the four-wheel drive.
New car time? New car time.
That one.
Buy the right car right now at drive.com.au.
There's something in the air at Birdseye. Our lightest fish with 50% less oil is air-baked by us for the crispiest crumb. Air-baked fish. An eye for good. Birdseye.
Come and discover the NRLX difference. NRLX is purpose-built for safety, efficiency and animal welfare, where buyers travel from across the region, creating strong competition and premium results. And with Outcross, every sale is delivered using best practice services and software.
There's also no better place for a catch-up. Northern Rivers, this is our yard. Come and discover the NRLX difference.
Lazy Boy, world famous comfort. The biggest sale of the season is here with 30% off all Lazy Boy furniture. Save big on all recliners, sofas and modulars and lift chairs.
That's better!
Come to Watson's Leisure Centre for all your outdoor needs with new and used caravans and motorhomes for sale or hire, plus spare parts, accessories, services, repairs and upgrades. The Watson's Leisure Centre will make your life of leisure easy.
The heroes of the Westfield Bondi Junction stabbing have been honoured 2 years on from one of Sydney's darkest days. Some gave their lives, while others bravely took on the attacker, bringing an end to his 6-minute rampage.
When Joel Couchy went on his stabbing rampage in Westfield Bondi Junction, there were courageous individuals who stepped in. And on this, the second anniversary of the tragedy, it was time to officially honour them with bravery medals.
To me, he was one of the bravest person I've ever known.
12-year-old Musawa Bashir was summing up his uncle Faraz Tahir, a security guard who died that day.
For us, he was always a hero, long before the world recognized him.
His colleague Mohammed Taha survived his encounter with Couchy, but only just.
I'm really honoured, and because that day was very horrific, and those particular memories, they still haunt me.
Young mother Ashley Good was one of the 6 people to die. She gave her life, saving her young daughter from being stabbed. 2 French nationals, Silas Despera and Damien Garot, who challenged the attacker with steel bollards, have also been singled out for their bravery, along with New South Wales Police Inspector Amy Scott, who ended Couchy's 6-minute rampage when she shot him dead. She's now dealing with another battle, breast cancer.
We wish her well with her treatment. She's a national hero, and I know that we are all with her, willing her to get better.
The Police Commissioner, Mal Lenyon, congratulated his officer. She acted quickly, selflessly, and with incredible bravery. Noel McLaughlin's wife Jade Young was one of the victims. He confronted Couchy and then rushed to save his wife. Nurse Catherine Mollahan will also receive a commendation for bravery as she battled to treat the most seriously wounded. The medals and the commendations will be presented by the Governor-General later in the year. In making her announcement, Sam Mostyn said every recipient had shown courage, placing the safety of others above their own.
We couldn't imagine that it can happen in this peaceful country, so that was very sad.
Damien Ryan, NBN News.
There have been extraordinary celebrations in Hungary after a record number of voters ousted the country's long-time leader. Right-wing politician Viktor Orban spent 16 years in power. The populist Prime Minister was one of Europe's most conservative leaders and a key ally of Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. The US president has lashed out at Pope Leo, claiming he's weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. I don't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I don't want a pope who thinks it's terrible that America attacked Venezuela.
I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime.
Donald Trump later shared this AI image of himself as Jesus Christ. At least 30 people have died in a crowd crush at a World Heritage Site in Haiti. Tourists and students were gathering at the 19th century fortress when it's believed a scuffle broke out at the exit. Authorities warn the death toll could rise as there's a significant number of missing and injured. Standing tall for 25 years, levelled in less than 20 seconds. A 23-storey Miami hotel has been demolished to make way for a more luxurious property. It's the largest implosion in the area for more than a decade. Finance now, and there was only a modest fall on our share market today, despite the disappointing end to peace talks between the US and Iran. Here's Chris Kohler.
It was an especially quick about-face. The White House went from wanting the Strait of Hormuz opened to wanting to blockade it. And so, wearily, investors all over the world started another week. The price of oil jumped back above $100 a barrel. Keeping it below that level seems to require some confidence about a ceasefire, and that is hard to find at the moment. Maybe some of the panic is coming out of the market's reaction to all this, because the ASX only lost 34 points today despite fresh talk of missile strikes. Oil companies rallied while A2 milk plunged after warning its next profit will be weaker. Finally, the Australian dollar is buying 70 US cents and 60 euro cents this evening.
They were down to the last of the Dagwood dogs at Sydney Olympic Park today as the Royal Easter Show wrapped up for 2026. Reporter Mike Dalton soaked up the best of the exhibits and sidled up to a fuzzy friend.
Last day, Kids Day. 2-for-1 rides and half-price ticks in would see the autumnal avenues of Olympic Park busy to bid the show farewell.
Results have been better than what we thought. We're going to get in excess of 800,000 people through the gates.
And being the last hurrah, it was a jam, cramming in the stuff I had not done the 11 show days previous.
Go, you flannelette-clad lumberjack!
I'd barely seen an udder with a dairy cattle until I saw her.
Have you got to hold that bucket all the time?
She's got a very impressive udder.
What's impressive is holding the tail and the buckets.
And my baby goat deficit needed correcting.
So cute. So cute.
After a fresh lemonade.
Thanks, Spencer.
And an operating bubble shark.
Oh, thanks, John.
See you next year. I peered into my future via crystal ball, with travel apparently calling.
The quick little trip's going to end up being extended. Huh? Okay, so it's
Is there prison involved? I ingested several Nutella-infused donuts from the Berry Donut van. Now on tour.
There's only one spot in Berry, so we thought, we'd share the love, take it around Australia.
And lunched on Dagwood dog with honey and chili.
We've sold over 10,000 across the course of the show, and it's made a massive profit.
You talk to the food operators and also the showbag operators. They're doing better than probably last year.
As the district exhibits sold off their displays, my show friends and I would soak up the remaining hours high over the main ring and wondered what Easter Show 2027 would have in store for us all. Mike Dalton, NBN News.
Sure knows how to do the show, doesn't he, Mike?
He does.
In style. Adam Murray joins us now with sport. Is Kieran Foran on track to be appointed Manly's full-time coach, Adam?
Well, good evening, Tash. He's got a perfect record since being handed the interim role. Coming up, Seagull Stars give their verdict on whether Foran should be given the job permanently. Plus, good news and bad news on the injury front for the Knights. And Rory McIlroy etches his name further into golf folklore.
You don't have to do that here. You don't have to. How do I know if it's the best? They're Aldi prices. You don't have to check those. Really? No need to check twice. You get quality for less. That's Aldi prices. Aldi. Good different.
Yeah, some telcos don't run enough lines to the internet, so when they conk out, speeds run dry. But at Aussie Broadband, we run backups on backups, so you can be sure your internet's always flowing.
They call this the lucky country. Trouble is, there's only so much luck to go round.
That's a cow.
When the lucky country isn't so lucky. There's only so much luck to go round.
That's a cow.
When the lucky country isn't so lucky.
Lucky you're with Amy.
I'm doing light and easy because it has taken a lot of stress from worrying about what to eat, and it makes me feel good. With light and easy, I've lost 23 kilos. I couldn't have done it on my own. With light and easy, my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner is portioned right. I never feel like I'm missing out on anything because light and easy has everything that you need. I feel so good.
Start doing light and easy and lose weight without losing the joy of eating.
Anaconda's Easter holiday Pay Less sale is now on. Pay less on some of Australia's favourite outdoor adventure brands. The North Face, Austral, Merrill, Ringers Western, Shimano, Columbia and many more. Pay less so you can play more. Only at Anaconda!
Is your roof looking dirty and old? Give it a facelift and make your old roof look like new again. Call Roof Tech Roofing today. We high-pressure clean roofs, change broken and chipped tiles, repoint and rebed ridge capping, reseal, recoat and recolour. All tile and metal roofs, from old to new. Call Roof Tech now for a free, no-obligation quote on 66811793. Roof Tech. We do everything roofing.
Can reduce reproductive efficiency. It causes early embryonic deaths. But then what's even more importantly is it's a very potent immunosuppressant. Don't let pestivirus rob you blind. PestiGuard, always on guard.
Go Harvey Norman. Great deals on laptops. All the big brands from just $368. Save over $100 on this powerful HP. Now $868. Get an epic deal on this HP OmniBook AI PC. Best prices at Harvey Norman now.
Go!
Sea Eagles players are backing Kieran Foran to succeed if he's handed the coaching role full-time. Manly has 2 from 2 record since Foran took over from Anthony Seibold, and it hasn't given up hopes on playing finals football.
Rocked by the sacking of Anthony Seibold 2 games ago, the Sea Eagles have turned things around under Kieran Foran. The change in attitude backing the notion that they were off their old coach.
Ben, when you had Siege here, were you playing for him as your team or not? Because you've improved so much since that time. There's been the knock on the group that maybe you weren't playing for him.
No, I wouldn't say that. Every time you put on the Manly jersey, you're always going out there to do your best and play 100%.
People are asking whether you were still trying for Anthony as a coach, and is that the difference now that you're trying for Kieran? Is that unfair?
No, I think the first 3 weeks we just played poorly.
Foran is a club great, and he's been backed by a member of Manly's royal family.
Should Foz be your coach going forward full time?
Obviously, if that's the way the club goes, I 100% back him. We love Foz as a bloke, as a player, as a coach as well. So I'm all for whatever the club chooses, and I'd back Foz 100%.
Why? What do you like about him? You've seen him now only for a couple of weeks, but what qualities does he have that makes you think he could do it?
Well, he's the ultimate competitor. Look at the way he played. He puts everything out there, and he does the same as coaching. He's that invested.
Does Kieran Foran be given the job full time?
I think he's obviously a great coach. So I think if the opportunity comes, I think he'd be great head coach.
For Paseka, the Foran fix was a bit hard to get used to.
Weird having played with him and now he coaches you.
Oh, it was weird. Hearing him speak in front of us, and I was like, wow. But sort of got used to it straight away. Didn't look too much into it, just, took the message on.
And tonight, an insight into the goal that Foran set for his team from day one.
He came in, gave us a big pump-up speech and said the goal is to play finals, and that's what we're going to go after.
Danny Weidler, NBN News.
Night star Dylan Brown is set to return from a knee injury this weekend, a timely boost following their heavy loss to the Tigers. Tyson Frizzell and Dylan Lucas are both set to join the club's casualty list. The Tigers are a different beast this season, snapping a 5-game losing streak at Campbelltown with victory over the Knights.
A lot of ball, gave them some soft sort of penalties, and they're a good footy side, especially when they're attacking, and we made it way too hard on ourselves.
They terrorised rookie Wilson De Courcy, scoring 4 of their 5 first-half tries down their right. In an effort to stop the Tigers' run, Justin Holbrook benched the 20-year-old at half-time.
It's going to be hard to be at your best every week, and we learn a hard lesson today. When you're not, you're in trouble.
Newcastle did fight until the end, scoring twice in the final 5 minutes.
Runners in motion, and another front rower goes over untouched. Trey Mooney running off Sandon Smith.
It took some shine off the Tigers' 3rd win in a row.
We've worked so hard
change our standards around what's acceptable, and I thought the last 15 minutes was unacceptable. There's no way the score should have been 22, it should have been 40-something 10, or even 6 to be fair.
The Knights' second loss of the season saw even more injuries, with Tyson Frizzell failing to finish the game due to a rib injury. He's awaiting scans. Dylan Lucas has also reportedly suffered a throat injury, which could leave him on the sideline for at least a month. Meanwhile, the club has finally confirmed the Warriors' Murata Niokore will move to the Hunter next season. He's signed a 3-year deal. The Bulldogs' Connor Tracy has agreed to a 2-year extension until the end of 2028. Tracy has cemented himself as the club's first-choice fullback over the past 2 seasons and is likely to see out his career in the blue and white. Fresh off a much-needed bye, the Waratahs won't be taking Moana Pacifica for granted this week, knowing the struggling side is capable of pulling off a huge upset.
We just got to kind of take it to them. Like we've seen over the past few years, they've hurt us when we've not been on. So, I mean, we're obviously just going to be ready for that and just try to win the battle up front first and foremost.
The Tars are 6 points off the top 6 and need to start winning to keep their finals hopes alive. Olympic gold medalist Sally Pearson is predicting sprint sensation Gout could become the greatest of all time after his blistering 200-metre performance at the Australian Championships.
Who knows what we're going to see, but maybe a world record, Usain Bolt's world record that we thought was never going to be touchable. But our Australian kid, Gout, is probably going to be the one to break it.
Gout will now begin preparing for the World Junior Athletics Championships held in the US later this year. Jack Nicklaus, Nick Faldo, Tiger Woods and now Rory McIlroy. They're the only men to have successfully defended their Masters title. The Northern Irishman played his way into golfing immortality in a dramatic final round this morning, pulling off a one-shot victory.
For 17 years, Rory McIlroy feared he'd never win a Masters.
Rory is a rare repeat winner at Augusta.
In the space of 12 months, he's done it twice, defending his title the only way he knows how.
Yeah, I don't make it easy.
A double bogey on the 4th hole left him 2 shots off the lead.
Oh my goodness. Disaster for McIlroy.
Which playing partner Cameron Young gladly snapped up, with good friend Justin Rose out in front by the time he got to Amen Corner. McIlroy needed more than divine intervention and did it all himself.
What a beautiful kick to the right.
2 back 9 birdies, lifting him back to the top of the leaderboard. But the past saves were even better, learning all the right lessons from past major heartbreaks, holding his nerve under pressure.
That is brilliant.
A dreadful drive at 18, the last self-imposed hurdle for the Northern Irishman to overcome.
This is trouble. Uh-oh.
He did, denying a resurgent Scotty Scheffler by just 1 shot to secure a second green jacket. If his 2025 victory was an outpouring of relief, this moment was pure joy. The 4th man to go back-to-back at Augusta National, joining a lustrous company in Jack Nicklaus, Nick Faldo and Tiger Woods.
I thought it was so difficult to win last year because of trying to win the Masters and the Grand Slam, and then this year I realised it's just really difficult to win the Masters.
A 6th career major safely secured. McIlroy now more confident than ever that tally will grow.
I don't want to put a number on it, but, I feel like this win is just a part of the journey.
Nicole Dunn, NBN News.
After the break, Spurs creep closer to Premier League relegation, and the Flying Roos win as Sal GP goes to Rio for the first time.
At the Australian Federal Police, everyday people do legendary work in over 200 diverse roles around Australia and the world. Everyday people, legendary work.
Hungry Jack's Cafe has something for everyone, with a better brekkie menu. New French toast fingers, buttery, crispy with cinnamon and maple syrup. Très bien. Brekkie is better at Hungry Jack's Cafe.
It's not, Susan.
It's okay. It says here Vanguard's investments and low-fee super could help your money grow.
These are tears of joy.
They can't ask that.
You're important at work, but at home, you're irreplaceable. Stay safe from harm and harassment. Safe at work, there for them.
Hey, big guy!
The Super Mario Galaxy movie. If it's obvious you need great insurance, get GIO. Great insurance, obviously.
Come on. Come on. Wait, what?
Be first in line for a thrilling time with Keno Go.
Hi, I'm Pete, golf professional and owner of Pete's Golf Warehouse. Custom fitted clubs in store. Have your grips fitted while you wait. The complete golf store with old-fashioned service. Pete's Golf Warehouse, Tweedhead South, directly behind Harvey Norman.
Shadow, it gets cold. It's so gloomy when you're gone. Oh, I will wait till you're back. Then the morning light will break, and I'm gonna make you mine. 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 I'm gonna make you.
Best sheds, up to 40% cheaper. Triple garage is $8,900. 4-car garage, $7,500.
Best Sheds, massive 25% off Easter sale.
Call Best Sheds on 1-800 15 17 18.
This report brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop in store and online. Best brands, best range, best prices.
Calendar is underway with more than 120 yachts battling it out today at the start of the sale Port Stephens. Meanwhile, the Central Coast Tom Slingsby has skippered the Flying Roos to victory at the inaugural Sail Grand Prix in Rio.
A Tom Slingsby special closing out a perfect weekend.
What a super Sunday for the Bonds Flying Roos, as they are absolutely perfect.
The Gosford sailor helping lift the Flying Roos to victory in Sail GP's Rio debut.
It all came together today, which is such a sort of satisfying feeling.
Slingsby and Lake Macquarie's Ian Jensen won all three fleet races on day two and made it a perfect 4 from 4 when facing Artemis and Los Galos in the final at the challenging Guanabara Bay.
Racing under a mountain like that is very, very tough. We've just got such a good team and we gel so well, especially when the conditions are hard.
Another Lake Macquarie sailor, Nathan Outeridge, helped Team Artemis secure its best finish yet, third in the final and second overall.
I thought we were going to be on at one point today, but not to be, and it's a good step in the right direction.
Lake Macquarie sailors Kyle Langford and Will Ryan finished 7th with Team Italy. After 4 events, the Aussies lead the title race, 7 points clear at the top. Meanwhile, all eyes were on the water at Nelson Bay today, with 123 boats racing for the Sailport Stephens Commodores Cup. Now, in its 19th year, it's the biggest edition yet.
I think this week at the Commodores Cup is a great example of the lifeblood of the sport within Australia.
It's such a great destination. People love coming here to sail. It's a great waterway to sail on, and this time of year it's kind of like the end of season trip away for everybody.
But there's still plenty of talent on the water.
We've definitely got some very competitive boats out there. There's a fleet of Super 40s, and that's all like the high-end professional sailors are out there. A lot of Hobart boats are out there as well, so a real mix.
Anarchy, skippered by Grant Pocklington, took out the Division 1 title. Sailport Stephens continues until early May. Jack.
Tottenham's bid to avoid relegation from the Premier League took another blow this morning, the side suffering a 1-0 defeat to Sunderland. Spurs are now officially in the drop zone, sitting 18th, 2 points behind West Ham. Elsewhere, Manchester City defeated Chelsea 3-0 and is now just 6 points behind league leaders Arsenal with a game in hand. City plays the Gunners in a potentially title-defining clash next week. Chomping on a killer python as the Suns fell to a 32-point loss. Christian Petrarca is due back from injury when Essendon arrive on the Gold Coast this weekend. He'll join Bailey Humphrey as a welcome reinforcement after Gold Coast suffered their second loss to the Swans.
The fact of the matter is there's a gap between us and those sides at the moment. I think I shouldn't probably say this, but I think they're a top 4 quality side. Once again, they've got a really established core group of players that play a great style of footy, and we've got to close that gap.
Taylor Gill has now scored points in back-to-back WRC 2 events, finishing 9th in the Croatia Rally. The 22-year-old showing European teams he's ready for a full-time drive next season. To make the most of a tight budget, Taylor Gill towed his rented Toyota GR Yaris more than 3,000 kilometres from Finland just to be on the start line in Croatia. The road trip across Eastern Europe will be worth it if he can secure himself a full-time World Championship drive. In his first outing on asphalt in a Rally 2 car, Gill was outside the top 10 after 8 stages on day 1. After a good night's sleep, he found his groove, matching it with those with more experience, even setting the pace. Claiming his first ever stage win in WRC 2. By the end of the day, he'd climbed to 8th overall. The 22-year-old also got off to a fast start to Super Sunday, but unfortunately lost time on the final stage, seeing him drop to 9th, but still ahead of his 2024 junior WRC rival, Romat Jurgensen. Gill will now return home and begin finding the budget to return to Europe for Rally Finland in July. This weekend's State Flat Track Championship has been cancelled due to a lack of entries, caused by rising fuel costs. Macleay District Motorcycle Club made the announcement last night. All competitors will have their registration fees refunded. The NRRL has returned to the weekend agenda, round 1 kicking off with a win for Casino.
Hitting the field for its season debut, the NRRL. It was the Casino Cougars who made an impression in the men's opener, taking on the Evans Head Bombers on Saturday.
It was a really physical game. The conditions were really tough as well. It was really hot.
Streaking away to a 20-point lead in the first half, it was a hard-fought lead for the Cougars.
There were definitely momentum swings where Evans looked like we got to an early lead, but there were definitely periods there where it looked like Evans were going to come back.
Despite this, they finished the game with a convincing 38 points to 10.
I think our fitness gave us a little bit more energy towards the back end of the game.
Casino says it's been working to develop players from the under-18s division through to first grade.
Last year we made it to the first round of finals, so huge improvements.
And that their result from the weekend is an example of the momentum the club is trying to build.
Even during training, during pre-season, there were really good signs there that we were playing for each other, and that went through on the weekend.
Isabel Gallagher, NBN News.
And Tash, that is our look at sport.
Adam, thank you. Stay with us. We'll take a look at the local weather details right after the break.
They fought to put him behind bars, but this predator was handed a pitiful sentence that might be about to change. Join me.
Do you think we have more space?
Yeah, we could use a bigger home. You could talk to someone. Someone.
Hi, I'm Kate, your CommBank home lending specialist.
Fast approval, no doubt. With CommBank, you can.
When your dog's healthy on the inside, it shows. Take a closer look. Those eyes. That energy. Purina One helps support their healthy gut microbiome for visible health from the inside out. Purina One.
Renault Duster.
from $34,990 to $42,820 drive away.
What if you could have your future investment watched like a hawk? They have a field vision of 278 degrees and can spot opportunities over incredible distances and from great heights. At Vision Super, we put expert eyes on the end prize. We'll pursue our members' retirement goals, keep strong returns in sight, and put a sharp focus on growing your super. Vision Super. Super Vision.
The home reno sale is on now at Beacon with 20% off store-wide. From fans and pendants to switches and downlights, everything is 20% off. The home reno sale ends next Sunday at Beacon.
Our house provides therapeutic accommodation for people travelling to Lismore for medical purposes. If you'd like to make a booking or be part of our vision, visit ourhouse.org.au.
Dectomax V is a brand new cattle drench containing 2 actives, average efficacy of 99.8%, ideal for weaners and growing cattle, twice as tough on worms. New Dectomax V, premium performance for leading cattle producers.
Go Harvey Norman for contemporary living. Crafted for comfort, designed for modern living. Discover curated collections tailored to your unique space. Recline in effortless luxury. Entertain with timeless style. Find inspiration in every detail. In-store now at Harvey Norman.
Best sheds, up to 40% cheaper. Farm sheds, $12,500. Industrial buildings, $19,300.
Best Sheds, massive 25% off Easter sale.
Call Best Sheds on 1-800 15 17 18.
Go Harvey Norman. Get a 10-year warranty plus save 10% on selected AEG kitchen appliances. Save over $170 on this AEG steam bake oven. Save $150 on this induction cooktop and save $170 on this AEG freestanding dishwasher. Best prices at Harvey Norman now.
More autumn perfection this week with cool nights. It got down to just 6 degrees at Grafton, but warm days continuing. High pressure in the Bight is feeding low-level cloud over much of the country's southeast in cool westerly winds, bringing some showers. Elsewhere, we can see cloud over central WA and another band approaching northeast Queensland with ex-tropical cyclone Mela. Tomorrow, that system's expected to bring showers and storms to far north Queensland. A few showers continuing too in the west, while for us, high pressure will maintain stable conditions over the coming days. As I mentioned, it was a cool start throughout this morning. Lismore got down to 9, Casino a minimum of 7 degrees, up to 27 there today. Cape Byron had a range of 17 to 23. Further north, Coolangatta and the Gold Coast reaching 27 degrees. Tomorrow's looking sunny once again with light winds. Another cool night on the way with daytime temperatures reaching the low to mid-20s. 26 degrees on the way at Evans Head. We've got 25s for Ballina, Casino and Lismore. Byron Bay tomorrow, 24 degrees. Tweed Heads, 26. 26 also the expected top at Robina. Looking offshore for the Gold Coast waters, seas a metre, the swell 1.5 there. It'll get up to 2.5 metres, the swell on the Byron coast. Winds southerly at 15 knots. Checking tides, there's a morning high at 5:46 on the Byron coast. On the Gold Coast, a lunchtime low coming in at 12:13 p.m. Looking further ahead now, daytime top starting to build again from midweek, getting quite hot by the end of the week. It'll be up at 30 degrees again at Ballina on Friday before another cooler change hits on Saturday. Cool nights and warm days is the order of the week at Lismore, and heading towards the mid-30s by the end of the week at Grafton, 34 for your Friday. And that's NBN News for this Monday. Thanks for your company from all the team. Good night.